go. Okay. Firstly, we would like to pay our respects to the traditional custodians of the lands and waters of the Murrumbidgee local government area and to all Aboriginal elders past, present and emerging. We are committed to honouring the continuing connection that the first Australians hold to Murrumbidgee's land, waters and community as one of the oldest living cultures in human history. In the spirit of open, accessible and transparent government and to ensure this meeting is open to the public, this council meeting is being recorded. This recording will be placed on council's website following the meeting. I'll call for any apologies, please.
There's none.
No apologies. We move to the minutes of the ordinary meeting of council held on the 22nd of July 2025. Would somebody like to move, please? With Councillor Saxon, seconded Councillor Strawn. All those in favour, please say aye.
No.
Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. I will remind all councillors if they have any pecuniary interest declarations to please say so now. If not, okay. We will move to the Mayor's report. The continued cold has been testing all of us. While we are still waiting for substantial rainfall, we've been experiencing cold and frosty conditions. I'm sure those that have frost fans in place will have them moving. The days are warming up and getting longer. Hopefully rain is around the corner. I attended a drought summit via Zoom facilitated by Snowy Valleys Council. Trying to create a fodder bank for dry times is admirable, but who does it and who pays for it? I'm not sure the government would have an appetite for such an initiative. I attended the parliamentary hearing regarding water buybacks conducted in Griffith, representing both Ramsdale and Murrumbidgee Council. Those who don't need this ongoing water insecurity and diluted growth for a commodity that drives the very economic stability of our region, quite frankly, don't get it and don't care. I liken the bloody-minded approach to achieving a number of water removed from the breakneck approach to achieving the net zero goal. Unfortunately for us, we find ourselves smack bang in the middle of both community and region changing existence. No amount of advocacy, supporting data or humanity appears to have any impact. The bureaucracy appears hell-bent on achieving these goals, no matter the collateral damage and the very human impact. The latest Dirt Highway Task Force Committee meeting was held in Darlington Point. Our strategic direction brief was once again handed to the Chair of Country Mayors in Sydney to be delivered to Ministers Christy McBain and Catherine King. I spent 2 days in Sydney at the JO Chairs Forum, the Country Mayors Biodiversity and Waste Workshop and the Country Mayors Members Meeting. All were very worthwhile meetings to attend. Murrumbidgee Council hosted the board meeting of Regional Development Australia, Riverina in Murrumbidgee. We had the opportunity to engage with the regional body utilising a local lens, covering workforce, economic development and renewable energy and water security. RDA then toured the new rice mill facility in Murrumbidgee. The state members from Murray Hill and Dalton met with me on the 18th of August. The more things change, the more they stay the same when it comes to water, health and biodiversity. The ACTAC conducted their annual general meeting in Murrumbidgee on the 19th of August. Of most pressing importance are the floodplain management plans in the Murrumbidgee and Billabong Creek. The very base of this burning issue is that if you have developed your property, you will be affected by these plans across both footprints. It is providing a large degree of uncertainty for many in our LGA, and like all due processes, it is like navigating a needle in a haystack, and the bureaucrats are distinctly unhelpful. By all reports, the Vintage Rally in Collyambley was a huge success. Congratulations to all involved. Your hard work and enthusiasm was well rewarded. The Indigenous Games of Football and Netball were held in Murrumbidgee on the 26th of July. Congratulations to all involved in its organisation and promotion. I attended an outside broadcast with ABC Riverina on the 21st of July in Collyambley. It was a great opportunity to highlight what is happening across the Murrumbidgee Council footprint. And below our list of meetings I have attended in July, August. Are there any comments, please? If not, would somebody like to move that the mayoral report be noted? Needed Councillor Toogan, seconded Councillor Native. Those in favour, please say aye.
All right.
Those against? Great, thank you. No delegates reports to date. We will move to item 1, please. Don.
Thank you, Councillor McRae. Item 1 is just the sale of arrears for rates to commence the journey with 384,000 and change outstanding. We're down to about 226,000 now with from 25 to 13 properties. Sorry, just 25 and 23. Likelihood that there's going to be 12 going forward. There's one still on the list that working in the background to see whether it comes off. So 4 come off in the last month. 2 were paid outright through private sales, and 2 more got agreements for moving forward. They're the same agreements that I told you about a couple of months ago. They just actually materialised them by making their lump sum payment during the last month. So, we've gone to the market for the 4 3-bedroom homes and the 1 6-bedroom. A report will come to council on the October 2025 council meeting for decision. Riverhead Gum Estates, the Young Street subdivision, Parks and Gardens coordinator went through the policy, looked at the site, and has determined the best tree to plant there. Once it's given the green light, he'll go purchase them and buy them. So it is a slim bottle brush. Whoever wants to say the Latin, you're more than welcome to say it now. No? Okay.
Happy Christmas.
Tempted. Yeah, it probably is for that. Dunnings Point Long Day and Preschool. We've gone, put out the latest plan. Everybody has come back with positive comments on the new layout. So I plan to run with that. There's looking for a way forward, and there's a couple of ways that we can go to the market to get the design and construct or get detailed design done. There is another one which I bring from North America, which is qualification-based selection. That's what I'm leaning towards, is that we actually go to the market for expressions of interest, and all they do is sell themselves on how good they are, how many childcare centres they've done before, how well they know the legislation around childcare centre, childcare and all that sort of stuff in their build. From that, we shortlist those 3. We give them $20,000 each, and they go away and they do a complete bid with not detailed design, but some schematics and some elevations and some all of those sort of things and all their quantities, and they give us a firm price at that time. And then it comes back to council, and you decide out of one of those 3 who gets the gong to build it. Am I clear? Do we need to have a chat around this qualification-based selection? No federal and most state governments in the US have signed up on this. I brought this into another place to bring forward, and you get the best of the best, and then they start driving down. So one scenario was we went qualification-based selection to build a sewage treatment plant. We got the engineers we wanted. They worked through. They delivered a design which was going to cost $15 million, whereas down the road in a neighbouring city they were doing exactly the same, and their price came at $35 million because we chose the best. They actually researched. They chose something that was in Scandinavia, so it worked in -50 where I was and everything else like that. And that's how you made those achievements, through this qualification-based selection rather than through a straight up design and construct, because not all firms, but some firms just go to the bottom drawer. They see a water reservoir or a sewage treatment plant or a building that they've built once before and say, this is what we're building and it will cost you $1 million, when in actual fact it can be built for half that price. So
personally, I think that's what is most efficient.
right. Because if we go to detailed design, we're talking $150,000 for that. Yes, they'll come back and they put in their price, their design and their detailed design and everything else like that, but it'll be a final price rather than $150,000 for detailed design, then take that to the market and then they interpret how much that's going to cost and what their risk is. All the risk is put back onto them. They should know all the quantities, absolutely everything that's going to cost them to build that. There shouldn't be any variations because we haven't asked them to build off our spec to do anything. We've asked them to build this floor plan, provide all of these playgrounds, all of this landscaping, all of this fencing and all of that for going forward. I know it's something a little bit different. It doesn't need part of the resolution. I just need your head nod because I'll go and I'll do the QBS and I'll bring that to the next council meeting for ratification to go out. And then when the bids are back in, or when that process is done. Thoughts?
What's the time frame?
Well, I hope to bring the QBS back to you in September.
Yep.
And then we'll go out to the market for, they should only need a month to be able to sell themselves.
Yep.
They should have all of that. And then it should come back in October. Then we'll identify those three. And then you probably want to give them 2 months to bring their bids back.
So December for final decision.
Sorry,
December for final decision? Is that what
December, February, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a
I still think it's the most efficient way to do
Okay.
it, personally.
So just being a new concept, is a new concept to,
That's right.
right, so how many, will it be hard to get them to participate, would be my question.
It could be, but all we're asking, and I already know of a couple of firms, and we had that gentleman that approached Gavin Guild at that time with them. That's what he does. That's all he does. So all we need in this submission is that they show us, they do testimonials of 10 builds they've done. They give us the 10 people they built it for and give us permission to contact them to find out what were all of their ins and outs and everything else like that. It's not a difficult situation for them to grasp with, right? And if it's all spelled out, what the process is, yeah, it could be difficult, but just I was racking my brains and like there's going to be issues with every architecturally designed building, but I'm trying to limit that by getting those to design and construct it that live in that space. And there are firms that live in that space. There are people that just build medical centres and childcare centres and
Basically a tender approach.
it is,
Okay.
yeah, the qualification based selection. So no, it's not priced at that time. We don't want to know price, right? What they expect to build it for. We can gasp when they put the price in later on from that.
Okay, is there any further comment?
Is that where they use our basic plan and work
Yeah.
on that?
We'll say this is the floor plan, right? Achieve those same outcomes from that, right? But that's after we've selected them, after they've told us who they are, where they're from,
Right, yep,
all that sort of stuff.
it's part two of the.
That's part two.
Okay, yep, that's a good idea.
Sale yards still negotiating with one proponent who's looking to retain the facility as a sale yards for sheep. I've had one other proponent come forward wanting the ground for horses, but I'm still going down the track of keeping it as a sale yards. Council's still facilitating the 2 sales in October and November this year, at least. But hope to finalise that proponent fairly soon. In some of the policies, the recommendation that the model policy for media and social media policy goes to public exhibition for 28 days, and then we'll come back to council after that. So we just adopt the revised personal protection. There was no changes made to that whatsoever. One line was added into the alcohol and drug policy, which is It's the employee's responsibility to organise a pickup of their own vehicle if they get a non-negative. So that's just a recommendation to be adopted. Mine, staff recognition policy, and just an annual service recognition event instead of a council meeting. Joining with councillors, just a few little things. So that's just asked to be adopted. Uniform, there was no changes to be adopted. Events policy, we'll go back out on public exhibition because we've made those changes in relation to the major events. Workplace health and safety, there's no changes other than duties. So it's just to be adopted. The time in lieu and flexible RDO, no changes proposed, so that's just to be adopted. And the employment opportunity policy and management plan, revision 1, is to be adopted as well. Item 15 is the audit risk and improvement committee. ARIC and the guideline. The guidelines suggest there'll be 3 independent members to the committee. We've been sitting on 2 for a number of years. Just looking forward, the expertise that we were looking for is cyber and security. Mr. Simon Daly is who I'm recommending to join the team for the next, for this council term, and in accordance with the guidelines or the charter. I think it's within 3 months of the new election or something along those lines. That's just for your term? Okay, no worries. That's just my movements up until the end of the year. Any further questions? That's major.
Just a point of clarification, is a non-negative the same as a positive? When it comes to drug and alcohol
They talk,
testing?
in that world, they talk negatives and non-negatives.
What world's that? We're in the Murrumbidgee. It's a positive reading.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
I would have got pulled up if I used the wrong terminology from Sarah, and you know.
That is the woke world.
Right, okay.
Okay, if there's no more questions, would somebody like to move the general manager's report? Right, move councillor Curfew, seconded councillor Bryce. And the recommendation will read, the information contained in the general manager's monthly report be noted, and 1, the revised policies as listed below be adopted. Personal protective equipment policy, revision 2, corporate uniform policy, revision 2, work health and safety policy, revision 3, time in lieu and flexible RDO policy, revision 2, alcohol and other drugs policy, revision 3, staff recognition policy, revision 3, equal employment opportunity policy and management plan, revision 1. 2. 1, the revised policies as listed below be endorsed by council and placed on public exhibition for a period of 28 days, seeking public comment. Media and social media policy, formerly media and communications policy, revision 3. The events policy, revision 2. Point 2, the policies be resubmitted to council at a further date for evaluation of community feedback and final determination on this policy. And 3, that Mr. Simon Daly be appointed as the 3rd independent member of council's Audit Risk and Improvement Committee, ARIC, for a 4-year term in accordance with council's ARIC terms of reference. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 2.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor. Item 2 is a draft, a new report, policy presented to council that intends to require that developers will be responsible for any road and maintenance works where their development is assessed as increasing either the traffic volumes or the numbers of large non-typical vehicles to levels above what their access road has been designed to take. Council is aware that there will be 3 or 4 major traffic generating developments occurring in the next 12 to 18 months over roads which are traditionally being built to service 20 vehicles a day in our rural areas. The majority of these developments will result in large numbers of traffic. In one case, up to nearly 200 vehicles per day for workers for vehicles, and up to 3 to 350 heavy trucks per day, well, on the same roads. Now, our roads have been built to allow for approximately 20 vehicles per day. They're generally a single lane, formed road, minimum gravel wearing course. This policy will require those roads to be upgraded to take the expected traffic volumes in accordance with Ausroad standards, and that difference in construction will have to be funded by the developer. Further, the maintenance of those roads during construction and operational will also be required to undertaken or funded by the developer as well. It's a brand new policy. It will need to go to public exhibition, and this report recommends that the council endorse the policy for public exhibition 28 days. At the end of that process, brought back to council for further consideration.
Thank you, Gary. Something like to move the recommendation. Councillor Black, seconded Councillor Woodward. Councillor Black, would you like to speak to this?
Well, I think it's essential that we have our roads maintained and upgraded, and that they are responsible for the upgrade. And the community benefit would be great for the properties along those roads. There's one or two properties on some roads.
Any further comment? Councillor Major.
Yeah, I'd just like to speak for it too. I just think it's, at the start of this renewable zones and energy projects, we could never foreseen the amount of traffic that's reported here. So I think it's, it's a matter of having the roads fit for purpose, and those that are creating the costs pay for it. So, especially in a small council like us, we certainly don't have the funds to spend on these roads for what are nation building projects, really. So I think everyone needs to contribute towards that.
Any further comment for or against? No? Okay, then the recommendation will read that 1, the draft development road upgrades and maintenance policy be endorsed by council and placed on exhibition for a period of 28 days seeking public comment. And 2, a further report be submitted to council at the completion of the public exhibition period in order to consider the adoption of the draft development road upgrades and maintenance policy. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 3, please.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor, item 3 relates to an application council has received to modify the development consent for the construction of development application 24/2024, which was to construct a large storage shed at 33 Oaklands Road, Truraldry, which was considered by council 1 or 2 meetings ago. Council granted development consent to this on the strength that a number of objections were made. The developer has now come back to council seeking a modification to the location of the shed. The original DA gave consent for basically an east-west orientation. A north-south orientation along the eastern boundary. The modification now seeks approval to orientate it in basically an east-west direction. All other conditions of consent will remain, and it's recommended to council. And the reason it's coming to council today, I also would like to add, is that it was presented to council previously, and we felt it was through to present it back to council for notification as well. It's been assessed by and recommended to council give consent to the modification, and by changing the plans which we relied upon, as well as the development application we delegated to the Director of Planning and Infrastructure for the issue of another explanation. Will also require a show of hands as well. Above.
Hey, somebody wants to move Councillor Kirby, seconded Councillor Black. Any comment, Councillor Kirby?
No comment.
No, Councillor Black?
No comment. It's all discussed previously about the building. He's just changing the orientation. No other changes to the building.
Okay, no further comment. Well, I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please raise your hands. Those against? We can raise them in favour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move to item 4, which is the minutes of the Collingwood Sports Precinct User Group meeting. And Gary, would you like to speak to these, please?
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor. Item 4, is a report on the most recent meeting of Collingwood Sports Precinct User Group meeting, held on Monday, the 11th of August, attended by Councillors Black, Heath, and I think
Sure.
as well. Representatives from the majority of the user groups were represented. Outstanding works from the previous meeting in earlier this year were again discussed, and several items of general business were also discussed. As a result of that, both the outstanding works and general business items have been passed on to the various responsible service areas, building maintenance as well as engineering. I'm expecting to have reports back on the status and likelihood of completion dates for all of those. Must be reminded, council must also be reminded, some of the outstanding works have been completed, not as many as first thought, but the installation of individual electrical meters, gas meters have been completed. And also the timekeeper's box, which leaks, has also been completed, and it was some time ago, with the replacement and flashing of the gutters.
Right. Are there any questions of Gary, please?
Just a comment, the legacy of the builders that were done previously is just showing that we got what we paid for, what we didn't pay for by shoddy workmanship. And it's showing that most of these things have arisen, the floodings, the taps, just poor quality. So the piling is poor quality, the
Fittings of poor quality.
fittings are poor quality, yep.
So Gary, the plumbing issues have been there since day one. So, in every part where plumbing is required, that it's shocking. So, we're not looking at a Band-Aid on here. We're looking at something that has to be done properly, because the builder's gone, but we're still here. And it's such a very poor reflection on council that this redevelopment, how many million did it cost? 2.6 million or something. And we got a really jack job. So I think which has been highlighted since they were opened. So I think we need to prioritise that we actually attend to what needs to be done here in Collingwood before we start anything else. Fix it and fix it properly. I don't think we've got any recall on the people who did the building. But there will be no testimonial, not one that could be put in print anyway. It's a very, very, very disappointing outcome. So we have to, council has to make it right. I think that's the very clear message from the people sitting at the table. I just had a point here. It says top dressing number 2 and number 3 ovals. Number 3 ovals.
Number 1 and number 2, I think it was.
No, it's number 2 and number 3.
Yes.
Here, here. And number 3 oval is the responsibility of the cricket club, not council.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, top dressing number 2 oval, if it hasn't been done, it's getting
Was number 1 meant to be done too? No, just number 2.
Number 2.
So we will advise the cricket club that is their responsibility. That was the deal that was broken. Yeah. The playground behind the amenities does need maintenance. It also needs a bigger fence, because if those roadways are going to be open, that is a significant risk to little people running across, particularly from the netball courts, backwards and forwards.
They did ask for a speed hump on both
But
roads.
speed hump, I think the easier fix would be to put a fence.
Well, it's very difficult. I had 2 little ones in there the other day, and I had to keep an eye on 2 little ones. There's no way of keeping them in if one wanted to take off because there's no gates.
So I think it's the fence and reinstating the speed hump.
It was, well, I understand, speaking Madam Mayor, I understand that at some point, it was proposed to close that section of road.
It was, which,
They changed their mind.
Okay.
But that was the idea, was to close the road and have it so that we didn't have these problems of kids
Yeah.
running back and forth.
Yeah.
Across the road, but that got voted down by,
the user
the
group.
user groups.
Yeah.
So it'll be,
But I have seen cars driving through there and little people nearly being cleaned up at this season.
Could we ask them to close that road on football days?
Could you put, bollards there?
but that,
That'd be a temporary fence, some, young children can go through.
then we
Bollards.
might as well rip the road out and put the grass across there, because then nobody else really bothers anybody else for driving it. It was the days of the football match that they were worried about people coming in and out of there.
Correct.
So,
Well, they still aren't, but
if we did that, then we.
It's only for
just
for
grass the area
3 hours of
like it was
netball.
originally designed.
sorry?
3 or 4 hours of
The kids are
netball
in the playground all
all
day
day.
long.
Yeah.
So it's not just and netball starts at 9 o'clock in the morning and goes till 3. So it's not just for a 2-hour period. Long. So, I just think we need to get a solution, but I do think that the playground actually needs a better fence around it to start with, so that when you're in there with kids, you can actually keep track of them. But I do think, that the speed hump at the very least reinstated, but I would actually like to. Anything else?
Can you boom gate it? Can you boom gate it during those events to make it safer?
But then
Because-
people,
Oh, I'm
People
only
can't
looking
get
for a
through
solution. Hey,
people can't get through them. So
we can go around.
that's right, but
Yeah.
that was the original design, was everybody
Yeah.
went round.
Yeah.
And that was just totally no road, and it was all grass right through there from side to side.
Yeah.
Which is
So
what
the
you-
kids that run back and forth,
You
Yeah.
boom
they
gate
get
Yeah,
run
yeah.
over by a car. But it was the users that wanted to keep the road there.
Yeah.
So ergo,
To collect the money on the way in from the cars, in their little,
But
Well,
that'd be
that'd be
before the
before
boom
the
gate
school
anyway.
side, but they
Around
still
where
had
that,
it.
we had the plan, you had that, the corner was
Yeah.
wider
Yeah.
to accommodate that you had any plans on. They didn't want it.
no.
They
they
tore it
didn't want
apart
that.
and
They
told us
wanted
to do that.
wanted that road open.
But in saying that, yeah, cars will go
So-
continually up, in and out all day long, especially with rugby. which
Yeah,
is
but that's what they
the-
wanted, so we
yeah.
couldn't do
Maybe
it.
on that, yeah.
So it's not.
Anyway, yeah, just move on.
But it's a conversation we probably need to revisit, Gary, but at the
Yeah.
very least, I think we need to try and source some funding or whatever to increase the height of the fence around the playground. All playgrounds have much higher fences than that these days.
And gates.
And gates.
Any left over in the community fund?
Well, grant, we'll seek grant funds
Yeah.
for it.
Oh,
And
okay, I
I
thought there
would
was something
think
left over.
as a very base action, we could reinstate speed hump while we try and get. That's just a bit of concrete, isn't it?
Well, I'd probably just pin some of those plastic ones there.
Plastic.
That make it really difficult to make 3 or 4 of them, so they bounce across there or whatever. So nobody uses the road whatsoever, they go around.
Okay, all right. Was there anything else, Gary?
No.
No? Did somebody move this? No?
Yes.
Moved councillor Black, seconded councillor Churgwin, that the report, and the minutes of, the Colony Sports Precinct User Group meeting be noted. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. John.
I reported the outcomes of the New Highway Task Force meeting at the March council meeting. I can't remember them now, exactly, any other conversation other than what was taken down in the minutes. So I would only be regurgitating what was in the minutes from the other time that I was there. And the reason why we've got the minutes now is because our next meeting is in September.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
take it as noted, John.
Well,
So councillor Black, would you like to bring to the table, the article you read regarding, in the Weekly Times, regarding, the new highway?
this is the Weekly Times last week, this week.
How often
It wasn't, it wasn't very flattering.
No, there's no sun flattering about the Mill Highway.
So how often do the weekly times come out?
Every day changes, but once a week.
Every week.
The printed copy comes out once a week, other than that, online every day.
Anyway, it's a disgrace, so.
Well, it basically said it was a go track and there was not nearly enough investment in,
What in the
Hill
Newell?
Highway.
in the Newell, on the Newell.
In the Newell?
We're on the wrong road.
Yeah,
They're not talking about the Sturt or the Kidman?
No, the Newell Highway in parts is a goat track,
Oh, in,
especially the southern part from Giraldy to,
Forbes.
Forbes.
Yeah.
oh, I suppose, yeah.
So the top part of this spent a huge amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good, but, the only reason we go to the Newell Highway Task Force meeting is to annoy them, because we're in the room and they can't ignore us. That's not the only reason, but it's a big part of the reason.
make sure that they know that there's something south
South.
of West Wall.
So,
But yes, there soon will be eventually a significant investment in the road between West Wall and Forbes.
Yeah.
Through flood lifting.
yeah, no,
So,
Haven't got it
and it's
there.
been good that you're in the room, because some of the things that you get to say or what they're proposing and things that you sort of turn around and say, you would be far better off to do that off the current alignment.
Yeah.
Get it done a hell of a lot quicker, not block all the roads and things, and actually improve what's going on. So, they're taking into consideration a lot of those things. Built bridges, culverts and all that, and building up all the things, because the one thing that we pushed is that a lot of times when they build up roads, all they do is keep a dam to one side of the road and doesn't get through enough, and then it completely undermines the road.
Okay, I've got a couple of quotes here. There is no question about the state of country roads is deplorable. The main highways can get funding, but there is no attention on rural roads. The Newell Highway has to be one of the most disgusting pieces of infrastructure in Australia. Southern New South Wales farmer David Micklejohn said he hoped the freight strategy was more than just a piece of paper and would result in some serious action. The damaged roads are safety risks for everyone. We need billions, not millions of dollars to fix them. They have been patched up for years. So
Obviously, he's never given the Bruce.
Or the Sturt, or the Kidman Way.
he did say something about a goat track, so.
Right.
or the, Burley Griffin Way is not much better. So, but, I will get a copy of that article to take with us when we go to Sydney, because, I mean, the great dilemma is none of us are that stupid that we don't recognise that the huge weather, impacts on the eastern seaboard are taking a lot of the funding, and we can't dispute that when roads are washed away and things like that, but, yeah, and the rest of the network suffers, not nearly as much as it does in Victoria, I'm not all of it, so. Okay, so, would somebody like to, move that we note the Newell Highway, minutes? Move councillor Strawn, seconded councillor Murphy. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, carried. Thank you. Okay, we'll move to item 6, please, Caitlin.
So item 6 is just the monthly investment report for the month of July 2025. Pretty routine, nothing really to note that's out of the ordinary from other recent reports. It's about $30 million invested at 31st of July. Again, just slowly winding down the amount invested with Bendigo Bank, which is currently still about 32%, whereas the limit is 4%.
Correct.
So
How long before you're going to get there, Caitlin, to recommendations?
Good question. We've got, we had in the workshop earlier this morning, there's some changes to the investment policy, so that will also change, that target slightly. And also we'll potentially open up a few more, opportunities for investing in other banks, so hopefully that will go that process a little bit further.
But some are running until December 2025. Oh, December 2025? Yeah, December 2025. I forgot what year we're in.
Another 4 months.
Provided we can, find another home for that money.
Yeah.
That'll be the,
And that is the serious dilemma, is finding an alternative, because, what's the banking mindset aligns very clearly with how, but then you go back and our thinking. So it's very difficult to find an alternative, but that doesn't mean you couldn't try. Yeah. Okay. Would somebody like to move, the monthly investment report for noting? Move councillor Saxton, seconded councillor Heath. And the recommendation will read that council note the monthly investment report identifying all money council has invested under section 625 of the Local Government Act of 1993. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 7, please.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor. Item 7 is a report, of the development applications through during the, month of July. And it's presented, for council's information and recommended that the report be noted.
Okay, somebody like to move, please. Move councillor Cherby, second councillor Kirby. Are there any questions? Christine, do you have any questions of Gary?
No,
No.
no.
Any other questions from the floor?
Yeah.
No? If not, then I'll put the recommendation, which will read the information contained in the development applications approved under delegation, July 2025, report be noted. Those in favour, please say aye.
Oh,
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Would somebody like to move that we move into confidential, please? Move councillor Saxton, seconded councillor Kirby. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. So I'm thinking we are.
okay.
Okay. We will move to item 9, which is the purchase of land and arrears of rates. And the recommendation, moved by councillor Bryce and seconded by councillor Heath, will read: the council authorise the general manager to bid at the arrears of rates auction in accordance with the limits provided by council and the position detailed within this report. And B, any land purchased at the auction be classified as operational land. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. The end. Thank you, everybody, for your contribution and attendance, and